Fighty Radio.
Hello, and welcome to this brand new edition of 5 Round MMA. My name is Alex Ramirez. Alongside me, my co-host, Guillermo Cita, Albert Cita. We got a lot to talk about today.
He's been taking some pre-workout, and he goes beyond.
Again,
he goes to the stars.
Again,
like,
for those of you not watching the YouTube, Albert was
I'm trying to encourage viewers to go see the YouTube.
Yeah, Albert was flexing his biceps in front of the camera. What you call them biceps? Kind of took me.
I guess you can call them that.
Took me off.
It's more fat than muscle.
Broke my concentration, so I paused there a little bit. But got an awesome show today. We're talking about UFC 199. Also got some very special guests. Our good friend Rick Boomer Reger, Bellator lightweight, talking about his bout at Bellator 154 and all that good stuff. Trained up north with the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu,
everything.
Yeah. So, gentlemen, let's get right into it, right?
Yeah, let's go. Round one.
Round number one. Big event, big news that last week was Chris Weidman was forced to pull out of his bout against Luke Rockhold at UFC 199, citing a herniated disc in his neck.
Yeah.
Pretty bad. That's like Kurt Angle status right there.
Yeah.
Actually, Kurt Angle, he reached out to Chris Weidman and said,
"Did he really?
If you want to discuss about rehabbing and stuff like that with your neck, I'm more than happy to give you some advice. I mean, everybody knows about Kurt Angle's history with his neck
multiple
problems.
broken necks.
Yeah, so that was
Tito Ortiz is the other one.
That was actually interesting, pretty cool.
Yeah. So he's out of UFC 189. Luke Rockhold was without a point for 24 hours, but Michael Bisping was pegged as his replacement. But we'll get into that in round number 2. So let's talk about Chris Weidman. I read an article saying that this is his 4th time he's pulled out in a fight in the past 25 months.
Where's the criticism that Dana White put on AKA for that he put on the criticism on AKA? Where's that criticism going to Chris Weidman? Like, I don't see it.
You know why? Because his
Jersey boy Matt Serra
trains with Chris Weidman.
Yeah. You talk about a hypocrite,
Oh, exactly. Don't even get me started on these Jersey guys. So basically, I mean, 4th time in the past 25, they've all been championship bouts he's pulled out of, right?
Yeah.
Is this why maybe Chris Weidman doesn't have any traction with fans? Because this guy, All-American Chris Weidman from Jersey, from New York, he's pretty charismatic, good-looking dude. Has the credentials, wrestling background, but yet he kind of was like not really as. I don't think he's as big a star as he should be.
The advantage is that he was always champion when he ever or championship, but he was the champion in these fights.
But that looks bad though.
Now he's the challenger. If anything, look at what happened to Cain Velasquez. Hey, you know what? You were now this time around. You're the challenger. You're hurt again. We're gonna put you all the way down to the back. Yeah. Chris Weidman could have potentially the same effect. We don't know how I think I saw 4 to 6 weeks on his neck.
He wants to come back for UFC New York, but whenever they debut in New York, November, I think.
But you got to be careful with an injury like that, and I could see that where maybe he's not 100% healthy, and it could potentially, instead of like UFC New York, seeing a title fight between Chris Weidman and Luke Rockhold, we might be seeing Luke
or
Rockhold
Michael Bisping
versus Jacare.
Yeah. Albert, your thoughts on?
I think that's the very reason why, if you were to go talk to the casual fan of MMA, they all know Chris Weidman, but they don't see him as this huge star as I think he should be seen, because he was the one to dethrone Anderson Silva.
All-American.
Yeah, in 2014 he fought once, and that was against Lyoto Machida. But you think these are big names, he should be a little bit more star power, I guess you can say. But the fact that he was so inactive of 2014, we barely
and we don't see him that much in the spotlight. I mean, you talk about commercials and stuff like that.
He's been hurt for 4 times.
No, but you talk about commercials and marketability. We give a hard time to Demetrius Johnson. Chris Weidman is up there with Demetrius Johnson. That's true. That's very not marketable.
Yeah.
You see the commercials, you see a Ronda Rousey, you see a John Jones, you see Cain Velasquez. You don't see Chris Weidman.
But is that because of his personality or because he's always hurt? That's what I'm asking.
I think it's a combination of both.
It's
both?
Like,
one, he's not active. 2, his personality. He's more of a family man. There's nothing wrong with that. And Luke Rockhold's always pointed that out. It's like you dedicate too much time to your family, which is not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. Trust me.
Luke Rockhold, he lives in California. Good looking dude. You know what I mean?
Look at Cain Velasquez. He's been hurt a lot of times, but I think he's been one of the guys that do a quick turnaround as far as marketing. As soon as he became champion, Metro PCS.
Yeah.
He saw all these sponsors, and he had a quick turnaround, even though he had such a layoff. And I think when Chris Weidman beat Anderson Silva, no one really struck there. There is no real.
There's a Bud Light commercial with them.
There's no real incent to push this guy, and I always found that weird too. So at the same time, even though the inactivity can be a thing, I think at the same time it has something to do with being marketable because, like I told you, Cain Velasquez, as soon as he became champion, we saw him in everything. But Chris Weidman, we
something
didn't.
you said, he was very handsome. I mean, like if he was that handsome,
Well, Chris Weidman's not a bad looking guy either.
He should be a male model, right?
I mean, Luke. If you're comparing him to Luke Rockhold,
obviously Rockhold's gonna win that argument, but yeah, I just kind of, I mean. You know what? Like, yeah, he got the stigma of like, oh no, you didn't beat Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva beat himself, type of thing. I don't think he's ever really shook that.
Do you think that maybe plays a part into it?
I think so. I don't think he's ever really shook that. That Anderson Silva zigged when he should have zagged, and you just caught him, and Anderson Silva broke his leg.
On your knee.
I don't think he's ever shook that stigma from him. So I think.
So what does he have to do to? Because he manhandled Machida.
Yeah.
Whoa, he did. Whoa. Luke Rockhold is the only, to me, is now his new Anderson Silva, and for him to get credibility, he has to get past that mountain.
He has to stay healthy. He has to reclaim his championship, and then maybe if a bout in New York City can do that.
And there's a lot of good guys that he can win also that do pretty much legitimize his legacy, which is a Jacare win, also with the Yoel Romero and a Luke Rockhold. He gets past those three guys. You're talking about Chris Weidman, one of the best middleweights of all time.
As first, right now, just stay healthy. Then we'll go from there.
Yeah.
All right. So round number 2 coming up. We're talking about the man who's going to be pegged to replace Chris Weidman, the Count, Michael Bisping,
and he destroyed Vitor Belfort.
So stick around. All right, welcome back. Time for round number 2. So let's continue this conversation about the UFC 199 main event. Chris Weidman's out. None other than the Count. Michael Bisping is in. Other than the lack of there's nobody else really out there. Is that why Bisping got the fight, or do you guys think he actually deserves?
The thing that I saw is that Jacare is actually hurt, so that's the actual matchup that they wanted. I mean, I think Jacare at this point deserves it. I mean, Yoel Romero, you kind of take him out because of the drug and the suspension.
Even though I think he was trying to get his name out there, even though he's suspended, he's all, I'll take it.
Yeah. So Michael Bisping's with that win and with Anderson Silva, I mean. Given that Anderson Silva is on a decline, a win over Anderson Silva still means a lot, and this proves it.
Yeah.
Had Uriah Hall faced Anderson Silva, maybe he could have thrown his name out there. He did, but he wasn't even considered. But a win over Anderson Silva automatically.
Well, but, go. Sorry.
Automatically kind of gives him a I don't know, that pedigree to get a title shot.
What about? I mean, Uriah Hall was training for UFC 198. He got kind of
But he doesn't have the signature win over Anderson Silva. Michael Bisping does.
Yeah, but in a sense, he already did a full training camp, and he's fresh. While Michael Bisping.
But what did he do to earn it? Uriah Hall. What did he do to earn it? What did Michael Bisping do to earn it?
Barely beat Anderson Silva via decision, so I think
he had a fight and he won.
And it was in England.
Uriah Hall didn't have a fight, not his fault, but didn't have a fight to earn it. That's my thing.
He beat Gegard Mousasi, didn't he? That's a pretty good fight. I think I would take
Gegard Mousasi.
I would take a win over Gegard Mousasi now over a win Anderson Silva.
Wow, really?
No,
yes.
I agree. With
I think Gegard Mousasi is a win, loss. So I don't.
Yeah, okay, but Anderson Silva pushing 40 with PED allegations, missing a year.
And still pushing 40. He's still very deadly guy.
Now you're defending Anderson Silva? Are you for real? Are you for real on this?
You're literally flip-flopping in the middle of this conversation. Literally flip-flopping.
This is a guy who's hated Anderson Silva since day one. Now you're defending a win over Anderson Silva as more legitimate than a win over Gegard Mousasi?
Yes, at this point, yes.
I'm going to hold it. The next time he fights, I'm going to tell you that,
no. The question is between Gegard Mousasi and Anderson Silva. That's it.
Albert, let's get everyone here thought. Michael Bisping, you like it, or just because the sheer fact that nobody's here? So
I think it's a fun fight. Did I necessarily want to see Michael Bisping that quick, turn around? No. But at the same time, like you said in the beginning, it's really who else? Yeah, I would rather see Uriah Hall because he had a full training camp and he seemed to get nothing out of that Anderson Silva matchup. But at the same time, the card already is kind of
questionable with people dropping now.
Yeah, but I think if you were asked fans, I think they would want to see Uriah Hall versus Luke Rockhold, two big dudes.
No, I would not like to see that. I want to see Michael Bisping versus Chris Weidman.
Luke Rockhold.
Luke Rockhold again.
It's going to be again. This is a guy he beat him once before.
Yeah, and very
constantly.
I just think there's more personal rivalry going on there than the Uriah Hall. I think Uriah Hall's out of left field.
So Michael Bisping's mouth got on the title shot, and his personality did.
Yeah. It did. The only thing I worry about is this fight might not even take place. I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with Michael Bisping on Twitter and Instagram. He's overweight. I think it was 20 pounds plus. and he has 2 weeks to cut that. That's kind of dangerous. And I mean, like, are we gonna see a healthy Michael Bisping? If that's the case,
Well, see, your out should just stay healthy.
If I'm Michael Bisping, I still take the fight. But if I'm Dana White and I know that he's 20 pounds over, how much? How healthy is he going to be once the fight does occur?
And this is gonna like for all Michael Bisping detractors, people who don't like him. You either love the guy, or you hate the guy. This might be a win-win for him, right? Like he finally gets his title shot after losing so many times in these potential number one contender bouts. Where if he wins, he gets a title shot. He comes up short consistently over time and time again. Let's say he loses this bout. Hey, I had to get a full training camp. I only got 2 weeks to play. I should get another title shot. So this is kind of a win-win for him, right? Because he has
yes and no.
He has a platform.
Depends on how he performs. If he gets knocked out in the first round,
I was too busy cutting weight. I couldn't tactically prepare for Luke Rockhold. He has a platform for every week on UFC Tonight, every pre-fight they have on Fox Sports. Hey, I had a
but with the loss,
camp.
he can never face Luke Rockhold again. That's two.
That
would be two in a row against Luke Rockhold, and the first one was decisively.
But at the same time, I think if you watch,
I think it's a win-win for him.
If you watch UFC Embedded on the Anderson Silva one, he knew he was already getting up there in age. I mean, he's 37. I think he also sees the writing on the wall and says, look, if I don't get the title now and have a little run, then pretty much I'm not going to get another chance. I mean, it's true. So I think he'd rather just take his chances now than, wait another year when he's 38.
I mean, Michael Bisping really got lucky. Yoel Romero is suspended, and Jacare is hurt. So this is the best opportunity he's ever had because those guys are animals in that freaking middleweight weight class. So I don't see anybody beating those guys.
Yeah. All right, that's it for round number 2. Stick around for round number 3. We're going to talk about surprise championship bout announced by the UFC. So stick around. All right, welcome back. So surprise title shot was announced for UFC flyweight champion Demetrius Johnson. People kind of expected him to kind of hang out, watch the Ultimate Fighter season because the winner of that upcoming season, being coached by Joseph Benavidez and Henry Cejudo, will get a shot at Demetrius Johnson. It's not until December though. Yeah. So I don't know if he was maybe pressured by the UFC or maybe DJ wanted the fight, but UFC 201, Demetrius Johnson will defend his title against Wilson Reyes. Albert, thoughts on Wilson? You're the fight expert here.
I don't know. I don't know about this choice.
Someone.
Is this another
you got to put someone in there. I mean,
obviously he can't fight a broom.
His last 2 bouts, he won one, lost one.
This is Wilson, right?
Both of them were
Formiga was his loss.
Both of them were high competitors in the flyweight division. So I can see the argument for him that, I mean, he also has some big wins against, Scott Jurgensen, but then Scott Jurgensen kind of is on his way down. But I don't know. It didn't make any sense.
It's kind of weird.
But then again, we had this conversation literally last show.
3 weeks ago.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago, saying like, who out? Okay, other than Henry Cejudo and Joseph Benavidez, what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
Well, what are they gonna do in the flyweight division?
It's crazy.
And now you see what happens.
What's crazy in the flyweight division? He's on a 1-fight win streak, and he gets a title shot.
That gets you the title shot.
I mean, it's starting to look like the heavyweight division.
It reminds me of the old days when Chuck Liddell was champion, and then they'll just throw in people that just won one win. They're barely coming off of a win, and then they give him Chuck Liddell. Or I think Chuck Liddell even fought a guy that was coming off of a loss.
Yeah.
So
if anything, this kind of hurts Demetrius Johnson in the long run, and talking about his legacy, because these guys. I
mean, he's a finished, but is he fighting tomato cans out there? You know what I mean?
I mean, at the same time, the guy does.
He's great. He's a great fighter.
He's good, but at this point, I'm not gonna lie. I just throw Ian McCall out there again. I mean, that's probably the one person, and I know that he's hurt. He's inconsistent. But the person that gave him the most trouble to Demetrius Johnson was Ian McCall.
In all honesty, I would just throw a Hail Mary and put Sergio Pettis in there.
Hey, sure, why not?
Honestly, if you want to make it a freak show, let's do it. Let's do it.
Just maybe hope that Duke Rufus and Ben Askren,
even though it will be for 100% the wrong reasons to put Sergio Pettis in there. One, he's too young. I feel like he needs to prove himself a little bit more.
I would like to just because see what his camp can do. What can Rufus do from him? You know what I mean? Like with Ben Askren's help, with his brother's help, maybe he can get a pretty good game plan going. But
for Sergio Pettis, I mean, like he needs to step up the game in terms of who he's fighting against.
Just to show you
throw him against Joseph Benavidez, throw him against Henry Cejudo.
This guy, they have him ranked 8, right? When was the last time they dug that deep for a championship fight?
Because he's killing
when there's injuries.
Just because Mighty Mouse is killing everybody in the division, man. This is take place at 201, which is also going to be headlined by Robbie Lawler versus Tyron Woodley. So, is the UFC just trying to get 2 title fights per pay-per-view, or like, is it even necessary to have this
to tell
on the card?
and that was my next point I was going to try to make. I think it's like a thing where they're going to come off UFC 200 where they have multiple belts on the line, right?
Yeah.
And I guess I felt like they wanted the momentum to keep moving. So, pick it up here and then maybe extend it to the next card. Because if you look at the card, it's not that impressive what they have announced so far.
Projected, yeah.
Projected.
So,
but now
I think
it's very
that's
top heavy if you really look at it. I mean, like
every pay-per-view is like that now.
Yeah, so I mean, like.
By the way, even calls on the car on that card.
And see, it makes perfect sense. Maybe, and the thing is, Demetrius Johnson didn't really have any damage against Henry Cajudo. So I mean, like,
when does he ever have damage against him?
If you're gonna have to wait till December, you gotta stay active.
Yeah.
We talked about, we talk about marketability with this guy. You're exposing him. You're exposing him in big cards. So I think it's a win for Demetrius Johnson.
So it's not so
I'm
much.
just not excited about the contender.
It's not so much the fact that Mighty Mouse is fighting; it's who he's fighting, right?
Correct. Like, but at this point, who is there in flyweight besides moving up? And I told you guys, I'm against that.
Yeah.
But if Mighty Mouse wants to stay at flyweight, have people come down to his weight class because obviously at flyweight, there's nobody on the planet right now that can beat him.
I honestly, if the UFC plans on having 2 title fights for every pay-per-view, I think it's also time for them to step up and add another women's division. I know Cyborg's been protesting pretty hard.
I heard Holly Holm rumors that that's
she made a pretty good point about, like, a lot of the women who fight 135 are originally 145ers. And then and supposedly rumors out too with Cyborg, another catchweight bout. What's the point of having a catchweight bout? Just add another title fight. I mean, if you want title bouts on every pay per view, you're gonna need multiple weight classes with with champions in it. So I don't know.
See, and I like that approach where it's like pay per view should be for championship gold.
Yeah.
These fight nights and these UFC on Fox should be like #1 contenders and these up and coming guys.
Yeah, which is kind of funny. Didn't Strikeforce have that format? Remember Strikeforce Challengers, and then like the Strikeforce big ones were for the title fight. So
it's starting to seem that way.
Yeah, way to go. So that's it for round number 3. We'll take a short little break, then we'll be joined by our special friend
and
guest.
Championship rounds, man.
Yeah, championship rounds. Reger. So it should be an awesome interview.
We're gonna end it strong.
Yeah, so stick around for that. All right, welcome back. Joining us now on the 5-round MMA hotline. That is our good friend Rick Boomer Reger, Bellator lightweight, all around good dude. Rick, how's it going, man?
Oh, man, I'm doing great. How y'all doing today?
Good. Thank you.
We're doing good.
Yeah, so Rick, you were recently in action at Bellator 154. Like, even though the fight outcome didn't really go the way you wanted it, can you talk us through that training camp and like what you learned from the fight and just what we can expect from you in the future, man?
Yeah, well, you know, this is what happened, right? The opportunity popped up. You know, I got the call on the 30th. Say, hey, there's no lightweights for you to fight. Mm-hmm. You want to sign with Bellator? Take this fight. It's against Andre Fialho at 170 in 2 weeks.
Yeah, wow.
So there was no camp. There was no preparation. I joke about it when people ask me. I say, I prepared for this fight by signing my name on the dotted line. But it was just one of those opportunities where it's like, man, this is why I do this. This is why I'm fighting. This is why I'm training. It's like, okay, I get it. Everything's not perfect. It wasn't a perfect camp. It wasn't a perfect weight cut. I wasn't injury-free. But, man, I would have regretted this shit if I didn't jump at this opportunity. So I took it.
And that was a big card, too. Bellator 154, Phil Davis versus King Mo, 2 big-time stars in the sport. And you were actually on the main card, too. So I can see why you would want to jump at the opportunity, man. That was a huge exposure for you. Was that kind of in your mindset? Like, oh, man, this is it's up. You're in neighborhood San Jose, but were you still a little nervous coming into the fight?
No. You know what? It's funny enough, man. I wasn't nervous at all. It's just a huge opportunity. And I think I was just kind of content within that moment, fighting in San Jose, it's part of the Bay Area. I'm a hometown dude right here, and I love the Bay Area. They have best fans around, so it was just nice to be able to hit the big stage and to know, like, yes, I'm here and I belong here.
In the future, are you willing to, take these last minute fights, or are you looking for 155 only specifically from here on out?
Man, I don't know if it's crazy or stupid, but I tell you like this: if they call me tomorrow, I'll fight tomorrow. We can do it, whatever weight class it is. Like I'm making the best out of this. You can't do this your whole life. That's the thing. It's a short-term career, I acknowledge that, and then going into that, I'm gonna jump at these opportunities. You know, just like I told Bellator, I told them this straight up, all bullshit aside. So you know what, man? Put me in there, whoever, whenever, wherever, and I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna put on the show. You know, I'm not gonna tap out. I'm not gonna curl up. I'm not gonna turtle up and, you know, take my little TKO because the ref wants to save me. Like, nah, man, we're gonna go at it. You're gonna have to shut the lights completely off to stop me.
And, you know, watching the fight, you know, we kind of appreciate that. You know, I saw that, you know, at any time you could have, you know, you got stunned by a couple punches, and any other fighter would have probably turtled up, and it seemed like, you know, you were going to fight till the end. So, you know, as a fan, we really appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you, man. I love hearing that. You know, that's the thing, right? This sport, this world is so crazy, man. The world of MMA is just it's crazy, and the entertainment value is where it's at, right? You know, it's like I trust me. I had him up against the cage. I got elbowed in the back of the head. I heard it was a flash, man. Yeah. Everything flashed real quick. But instead of just taking my knee and telling the referee, "Oh, I got hit in the back of the head," or curling up. Like, I had plenty of opportunities to check out, and I was already paid by this point. You know what I'm saying? It's a pride thing, man. It's a pride thing. At any point in time, I could have changed the whole tune of that fight, and I knew that coming in that it was going to be hard. But I had also promised, you know, I promised to stand by my character, man. My character is no retreat, period.
Wow. And then real quick, it was a 6 months since your previous fight. Was that intentional, or it's just one of those things where the right fight wasn't in front of you?
No, you know, the thing with this is like I kind of built up a name for myself, and the opportunities that were popping up they just, you know, I don't want to say it was disrespectful, but it's just the money was nowhere close to the type of opponents that were trying to give me. You know, like, I will fight whoever, whenever, wherever. But, like, man, come on, you're not going to offer me $500 for these fights. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm a family man. I'm a working man. Like, I'm gonna lose so much money just missing work, let alone to make $500 breaking my hand on somebody's head. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, for everybody out there,
so it just worked out that way.
You guys can follow Rick on Twitter at RickReger925, and also you have a fan page, Rick Reger MMA. If people do follow you on Instagram as well, you're very open with your family, sharing, you know, your personal life, your training life. What's it like for you balancing, you know, fight life and family life all together? You know, like, are they supportive of you? Do you tell your daughters, like, oh, you know, Dad's got to work today when you come back with bruises and stuff like that? What's it like, you know, the mindset of a fighter and a father?
Oh, man, it's crazy. It really is. You know, I have 3 children. My son, he's a little bit older, so he gets it. You know, he sees that it's something prideful, and you know, he sees, like, my approach and how motivated I am. You know, so I think he feeds off that in his everyday life as far as him playing sports and whatnot. I have my 2 daughters, though. One's a complete tomboy. So she's all about it, man. She loves it. She's a rough and tough little tomboy. So, man, she's all for it. I get her in the gym. You know, I posted pictures of her hitting mitts and everything. She's with
that's
it.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, and then, but then I have my little girly girl. I can't get her out of dresses, which I love. I love it. I love it. But she also is. She's the type to be like, oh, crying and, you know, your eye, daddy, and things like that. You know, so it's hard. It's hard, but it's also put me in a position where I have a lot of availability, and I would definitely rather that than be rich with money. You know,
yeah, of course.
I'm able to coach. I'm able to coach their softball teams, their football, my son's football team. I'm around as much as possible. And growing up, you know, the way I grew up was just single mother, pretty much. I didn't have that. You know, so I'm used to being at the football games, looking up at the stands and not seeing people, you know what I mean? Or at the baseball fields. So it's like, I didn't want that for them. And I think that they understand that, you know, that even at a young age, I think they can kind of comprehend that, okay, well, yeah, you just went out there and got punched up or did the punching, because, you know, it could go either way.
Yeah.
But now there's a lot of family time, too.
That's cool. Hey, Rick, we're going to take a quick little break. We want you to hang on the line. So we want to talk about your thoughts about some of the latest going on in the world of MMA, especially with your boys, the Diaz brothers up there, and what's the like up there right now. So do you mind sticking around for a little bit?
Yeah, definitely.
Take a quick little break. We'll be right back, everybody. All right, welcome back. Time for the 5th and final round. with us still is Rick Boomer Reger. Hey, Rick, man, you're up north, and we know that you train with the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, so you have close contact with the Diaz brothers, Nick and Nate, Gilbert Melendez. Nate's been in the news a lot with the whole Conor McGregor stuff, man. What's it like up there, the fight scene, and a lot more attention's being shined up there with you guys up north, man. So what's it like up there?
Man, first off, huge shout out to Nick, Nate, Vic Golden, Gilbert Melendez, Jake Shield, that whole team, man. These dudes are just ridiculous athletes. I'm so grateful that I even have an opportunity to train with them at times. It's huge over there. It's crazy, man. It really is. Being a Gracie fighter, it gives you a lot of opportunities to train with these guys, and it's real motivating. They say iron sharpens iron, man. And They weren't lying. Those dudes, they don't play. It's a whole different mentality over there. And I think I've been saying it for years, man. These dudes are the stars of this sport. Mm-hmm. They might not be your typical yes man. And Dana, I could see Dana White having a problem with that. But at the end of the day, it's like, man, the numbers don't lie. Yeah. They're gonna tune in to watch these guys.
Yeah.
And the craziest thing about all you guys is your guys' jiu-jitsu is obviously amazing, but every single one of you guys rather stand up or have like a drug out war instead of taking it to the ground. It always blows my mind. I'm like, wow, dude, these guys are like,
could probably end a lot sooner, but you guys want to get in a fight first,
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I started doing jiu-jitsu as kind of just like a backup plan. Like I see myself as, like more of a striker, and that's just kind of like always the way it's been growing up. I've always preferred to strike, just like the rest of the camp, man. You'd be surprised. There's a lot of these guys down there that are extremely talented, and not too many people know about them, but they will soon enough.
So I want to switch things back over to the Bellator now. You fought under them. You have friends who fought under them. They've been kind of criticized about the putting the Kimbo slices and the Dadas, but they kind of tend to balance those cards out with some really good undercard bouts with some good fighters, and they're getting into the free agent market. So what's your thought on Bellator? Attracting these free agents, and getting these kind of big time cards, getting them back on the public eye.
Oh man, Bellator's taking over. Let's be honest. They got the Bellator MMA, then they got the Bellator kickboxing.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
They're bringing back legends. They're following a pretty good protocol when it comes to entertainment value, because you can say what you want about Dada and Kimbo, but I'd be a liar if I said I didn't watch it. I mean? Like,
that's true, actually.
I think we all watched.
You know what I mean? Everybody watched it. We want to see what's going to happen. A legend like Royce Gracie back in the ring. We want to see what's going to happen, And you're right, though, because all the cards that I've been to, either fighting or cornering or whatnot with Bellator, man, these dudes, they take care of you. They treat you like you want to be treated. It's pretty... It's pretty respectful at the way that they condone, or the way that they carry themselves, and they carry their level for their own all their fighters and just the people that work with them and everything. The respect issue is there,
And I know we touched on it earlier in the previous round, but it always mind blows me because when we go to Bellator events, all the lights, the big Titantron they have, did you feel any nerves at all just knowing that I'm on prime time here and you have all the one of the biggest stages in the world?
What happens it's crazy. What happens with me is like I get really nervous and I think about it a million times. It's like to the point where it's like, damn, I just wanted to hurry up and happen. I just wanted to be. I just want to walk out to the cage and I could just. It's almost like a transformation. You know what I mean? Let me just stop being Rick and just turn into Boomer and just forget all this other bullshit. You know what I mean? Because it's like when I think about it, I'm constantly running through my mind. I mean, there's a million ways that this fight can go. I could do this. I could do that. I watched his fight like this. He did that, and it's exhausting, man. It is. It's like it goes in steps. Because then after all this bullshit, I get to go make weight. Okay, bam, I make weight. I'm done with that. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then it's like, all right, I'm behind the scenes. I'm I'm ready, you know, let's just get this shit over with. And then I walk out, and then it happens, everything's so fast, you know, like it's just crazy. It really is. It just happens so fast that it's such a blessing to even be living in that moment, you know, because if you blink, man, you can miss it all.
And then, really quick, you know, last time we talked to you, it was about, we talked about the anti-bullying movement. Any events, anything taking place, supporting the youth?
You know, I'm always downtown. You know, that's what I love about Martinez, right? There's a Boys and Girls Club down there.
Yeah.
And it really is a lot of, like, I'll be the first one to say, man, it's a lot of low-income families around this area where, you know, the kids, they're cutting extracurricular activities. Like, a lot of the schools that I've been to and that I went to or have friends that went to and kids that go to, man, you know, that's like the number one thing they're doing. They cut their football programs. They cut any extracurricular activities to save a dollar, you know. And it's like, well, what do you think these kids are going to be at when you do that? You know, there's no after-school program. There's no sports. That was the only thing that kept me in school was sports. If it wasn't for sports, I would have never went. You know, so
wow.
You know, I'm down in Martinez, man. We're always doing, you know, always doing some clinics and some classes and some youth self-defense. And, you know, I'm always preaching, man, that the self-defense also builds self-confidence. Okay. And it's really important for these youngsters.
Rick, yeah, I mean, the stuff you do for the kids out there is amazing, man. And then also, I want to thank you, too, for showing us support for our show, man. Since pretty much the beginning, you've been one of the guys out there showing us love with social media. Don't think for one second that we don't appreciate it, man.
Oh, yeah, no doubt, man. You're my dude, man, 100%. I love y'all.
All right, man, we'll let you go. Again, thanks for stopping by and talking to us, man. I really appreciate it. Anytime you want, man. We'll come just, you know, shoot, talk about some fights, man. Anytime you want, come on the show, man.
All right, yeah, no, I appreciate that. Thank you,
cool.
Man. Like I said, I'm hoping to get back in the cage, you know, fight for Bellator and put on a good show and maybe have some preparation this time other than signing my name, you know.
Definitely, man, definitely. So you guys can follow Rick on Twitter at Rick Reger 925, also fan page Rick Reger MMA, also rickreger.com where you can keep up to date with, you know, training schedules and you do appearances as well. And again, Rick, just thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate it.
Oh yeah, no, thanks for having me. Y'all the greatest.
All right, thank you, Rick. Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.
You too. Bye.
So Rick Reger, guys, pretty cool dude, huh?
Yeah.
So I think that's it for today's show. I want to talk a lot about Chris Weidman, Demetrius Johnson, Michael Bisping. Even he's still defending Anderson Silva. We got that on record, right, Albert?
Yeah.
So that's it for this week. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at FiveRoundMMA. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe to us on iTunes, YouTube, and Podomatic. And please visit FiveRoundMMA.com. A big thank you to all of our sponsors. First with Rock and Green eco-friendly cleaning products, the 5 Rounds clothing line, and of course the FRMMA Foundation, Redemption Martial Arts. Albert, what do you got?
Just like to thank everybody for listening.
Oh yeah, the cream of the crop.
You are now listening to FRMMA Radio.